And then boom, check this out guys, we have all of Tony Stark's armors available in this room. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Minecraft map showcase. Today we are taking a look at the Stark Mansion that has over 500 individual command blocks. I think this is going to be the first ever command block house that we'll be taking a look at, and not only do we have the Stark Mansion, but a full backyard as well as a massive helicarrier with a plane on top. It is functional using command blocks, as well as we do have that alien ship from the Avengers which we will be attacking. So as you guys can tell, this map is really insane and was created by Usealed. He's really awesome, so I recommend you go check him out in the forums page down below. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at our first ever command block house. Here we are at the front gate, and when you walk down this pathway, it should take us directly to the front of the house, as well as it will pass the plane and the helicopter. Now obviously if I'm walking, this would take a really long time because the map is just so huge, as well as I do want to show you guys some of these creations on the outside. So over here we do have a private jet that's sort of in Tony Stark's field, because why not? He's mega rich and I guess he could just have private jets on his property like that. And there is an interior to this. We won't go over every single thing in detail, but as you guys can see, it is pretty cool and has like the cabin at the back and a bathroom as well as the pilot's cockpit. So yeah, there you go. So now let's go ahead and check out the helicopter, and the helicopter is directly on the opposite of the plane, and this is going to have its own pathway. And as you guys can tell, it's a pretty neat looking helicopter. I'm not sure what you would call this. If you do know the name of it, tell me in the comment section down below. But yet again, it does have an interior spot for you guys to just sit, as well as the pilot's cockpit. Alright, so now let's go ahead and check out the front of the house as we continue down the pathway. Alright, so here is the front of the house guys. As you can tell, this thing is super huge, and we do have a fountain directly in the middle, a huge teddy bear, and I'm not sure what that's doing there, but either way, that is the front of the house, as well as we do have this area where it's basically going to lead to the garage. And if you guys remember this from the first Iron Man movie, when he built the suit, he kind of flew the first Iron Man suit out of this tunnel. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Alright, so now let's go towards the front door and take a look at it. So as you can see, as we get closer, everything just seems to get bigger and bigger, obviously, and you can really appreciate the scale of this map. Alright, so yet again, this is created by Usealed, and it has over 500 individual command blocks built into the map, and the first one is going to be right here at the front door. If you go ahead and step over this pressure plate, the glass will break, and then the other pressure plate will place down glass behind us. So let's go ahead and test this out. Boom, there you go, and the glass gets replaced, and it makes for a very interesting doorway. Alright, so there you go. Now on the inside, we do have a lot of buttons scattered across the house. Most of them on the first, second, and third floor are lighting, but when we go down to the garage, that's where all the cool stuff is. But anyways, let's go ahead and click on this button. It should replace all of the diamond blocks in the roof with our sea lanterns, which will give us light, and as you guys can tell, it looks pretty nice. Now this one over here is going to turn on the lighting for the fountain, and you probably can't see it yet again because we're on the inside and it's already daytime outside. Either way, that's what that does. We have a bunch of other paintings and whatnot. And over here, we do have a button, which is just for decoration, that says Jarvis. I wish that was working, but it would be extremely hard to code a Jarvis into the house. Now over here, we have another button, which is going to transform those diamond blocks into lighting. And it's just a really smooth alternative to our redstone lighting. And if you click these buttons again, it should replace the roof and replace all of those areas with our lighting system. So yeah, like I said, most of the first, second, and third floor is going to be lighting, but let's go down to the garage and check that out at the beginning. That way you guys can see all of the awesome things. So over here we have another light switch that's going to turn on the lighting for this floor, and this one's actually redstone lighting. And we could click on this one to turn that off. So under the staircase, there's actually two buttons. I'm not sure if you can see it, but one says to turn on the lighting for the garage, and another one is for the armor case. And if I go ahead and click on the one for the garage, it activates redstone lighting for the entire garage, and now the area lights up and you can see this amazing garage space. Alright, so now we could go ahead and turn on the armor stand lighting, and if you guys take a look at right over there, we have our Iron Man 10 armors inside that case, which is now lit up, and that is just really cool. Alright, so these are actually remote lighting, and there's individual light switch on the inside, but let's go ahead and walk through this door. Yet again, it's a command block door. On this end, we have another button to turn the lights on and off, as well as we do have the armor stand lighting button right over there. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this garage, guys. It is pretty similar to how the movie looks. We have the cars and whatnot, as well as the floor in the middle. We have all of the robots that was helping Tony Stark build his Iron Man suit, as well as we have a control panel area. We have an area where the main suit is assembled, as well as we do have all of the armors right behind him. Now, not only do we have these armors, but we have a ton of armors inside the ground itself, and we'll get to that in just a second. Now on this side, we do have a bunch of different command block doors, as well as some other decorations, and it just looks really awesome. And if you are a fan of Tony Stark, you would absolutely love this map. Anyways, guys, over here we do have a button that's going to be a command block door. This time it's not redstone, and it will pretty much destroy all of these blocks, as you can see. And then it opens up a lovely door for us. And it does get sucked in. All the items that do break get sucked into the hoppers. That's why it's over there. And then we can go ahead and click on this button in the wall to turn on all the lighting in a very awesome way. So this is redstone lighting this time. And it's going to basically light up the entire garage exits. And then you could fly your suit out the door. Now this one's basically going to close the door. But we could do this using a remote button located behind the control panel right over there. So as you can see, I hit that button and it will create that door right again. So there you go. That is pretty much that doorway, and it's really awesome. Alright, so that's the garage, but there's still a few surprises located right under it. Over here we do have this really lovely area. If I could find the light switch, which is right over there. Yet again, redstone lighting this time, and this is pretty much going to be the area where Iron Man keeps all of his suits. And if you guys remember when his house was attacked, all the suits kind of was activated. So let's go ahead and click on this button right over here. It's going to open up a trapdoor in the ground, yet again made out of redstone. And then boom! Check this out, guys. We have all of Tony Stark's armors available in this room. And it's just so amazing. I mean, this thing is worth the map itself. I mean, it just looks absolutely crazy and very intimidating. And here is his main armor located right at the bottom center. And as you guys can tell, it is really cool. Alright, so now we could go back up to the top, or we could actually take a ladder over here. If you guys are wondering, like, you don't have to fly in order to get up there, and you could pretty much close back the door whenever you like. So let's just go ahead and click on this button to close that door, and it will push out our pistons and essentially make it invisible. Alright, so now let's go up to the garage floor yet again and check out these command block areas right over here. Now this is basically going to be a command block door yet again. You have to walk on through it quickly though, so let's go ahead and do that. There you go. And then you click on this button to turn on the redstone lighting in the ceiling. And then on this side, we could go ahead and check out a secret area. So this is a secret area in the base. And again, another command block door. It's going to take us up one level. And then this level is going to lead towards a very secret area. I'm not sure what this is, but it does have an A for Avengers. And yeah, that's pretty much all I know. So I guess it's like the Avengers control room or briefing room. But on this end, we do have a staircase, and then this lever is going to open up this door. Then we can come on over to this side, lock the door behind us, and access some secret Avenger tools. Alright, so over here we do have ourselves an Iron Man armor equipment station. And let's just go ahead and click on this button over here and possibly step in the middle, and it should equip our armor. I'm not sure if that's how it works, but it's supposed to pop out the armor. And as you guys can see, it's pushing the armor onto our bodies. How awesome is that, guys? We're now being equipped with our armor, and boom, here we go. Now we have the full armor on. We click on this button over here to open up the ceiling, and then we can fly on out. So that is just really awesome and definitely adds a bit of role playing into the map. I really like that. All right, so let's go ahead and close that skylight by clicking on that button. As you can see, it just closes right there, and then we could head on over to this room in the corner, which is basically going to contain Veronica. If you guys know who Veronica is, it's basically the Hulk Iron Man suit or a Hulkbuster suit, and we can click on this button to open up the door on the outside. You won't be able to hear it, but Veronica will have a space to exit. Then you can come down over here and then see the pathway that she is going to take. And also this door opens up when we flick that lever, and this will basically lead to the outside pool. So that's basically what that did. Now let's go back into the interior and check out the rest of the basement floor, and then we can take a look at the second and first and third floor, because there's still a lot left in this mansion, as well as the helicarrier, I do have to say. Alright, so this was the doorway that we went through the first time. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this one, and it's pretty much an elevator. Alright, so let's go ahead and just click on either the first or the second floor. I'm gonna go to the first floor so we can continue where we left off, and then of course this is a command block door that we can just walk into and walk out of. Alright, so here we are on the first floor, and this is where the front door actually is located, and the elevator is right behind this area. And there is a lot of stuff in this house, guys. We have like a pool table over here in this absolutely huge room. We have another section of the house back here, and this is basically going to include some rooms and some other random decorations, as well as this door, which is going to lead to a private movie theater. So yeah, that is just one of the decorations, and there is a ton of them in this house. Alright, so this button over here is going to turn on the lighting for the ceiling, as you guys can see, as well as we have some other lighting located in this area. Now this area includes a lovely skylight, as well as a huge living room that's connected to a much larger kitchen. Alright, so there is a light switch back here, and this is basically going to turn on the lighting for the outside of the house, or it turns it off, and I believe this is command block lighting. Alright, so there you go. And now we can check out the kitchen, and the light switch for the kitchen is right over here. Yet again, command block lighting, and it will replace all of those lights in the ceiling with our sea lanterns. And we have a piano, and we have a bunch of other decorations, as well as this huge glass window that gives us a very lovely view of the ocean. Alright, so that is pretty much the kitchen. And then this kitchen is going to lead to, yet again, another living room. Now this living room has a, well actually I would call this a ballroom, since it looks more like a ballroom than a living room. And it does have like the Iron Man like chest symbol on the floor, which I think is a pretty cool design. I'm not sure if that's actually in the house, but I do think it's a very nice addition to the place itself. Alright, so over here we do have a bunch of other rooms, and we have areas like an indoor garden under the staircase, as well as a library back here. And it's yet again a library mixed with another living space, and of course a fireplace in the middle. And then on this side we do have ourselves another room, which is basically yet again another living room with another lovely view. So I think this one's actually a meeting room because of all the chairs like looking at the middle and looking at each other. So maybe the Avengers like have meetings over here, but either way, that is pretty much this huge room that is just dedicated to having a meeting. Alright, so I'm sorry that I'm kind of flying around, but as you guys can tell, this house is really large, and if I were to walk around, it would take a pretty long time. Now, on the other side of these iron doors, we have our balcony, which is going to wrap around the entire front of the house, as you can tell, and it's going to lead towards our pool. Now, our pool is located right over here. As you can tell, I did have to fly a really long time just to make it across the house, and it does include some redstone lighting. Now, this redstone lighting is activated on the interior of this house, and we could go ahead and check on that since it is on the first floor. Alright, so this door seems to be broken. I'm not sure why, but the light switch is located right over here, as you can tell. And it will basically turn on all the lighting in the floor, and it's already daytime, so you can't see that these things just turned on, as well as the lighting in the pool. Anyways, let's check out the interior of this building. It's pretty much just going to be a gym, and this gym does have loads of awesome equipment. Let's just go ahead and turn on the lighting using that button. It has a boxing ring in the middle with some weights and whatnot, as well as a boxing bag, and it just looks really cool. Now over here we have a shower, as well as a sauna, and finally a small locker room. So we're not going to take a look at that because it is just minor details in the building itself. On this side we have an indoor pool, yet again with some lighting. This time it's going to be command block lighting, as you guys can tell. And a sneaky mirror, which is located right over here. And if you guys are wondering how we did this mirror, it's pretty much the room just built again. So this is just the same room built in the opposite direction. I think that's really amazing, and it's a lot of effort just to have a mirror. Either way, we have another button over here, which is basically going to turn off the lighting for the outside. It does the same thing what that button does, except it's just located inside for convenience. Now this doorway is going to lead to the exact same area as this, and it's pretty much going to connect this hallway up together. It's going to go into this room, which is basically a small bedroom with a couch and a TV, and of course a walk-in closet. So that's what that's going to do. We have a small bathroom over here with a very lovely view, and this is actually a really big bathroom, and then down the hallway is going to connect up with the rest of the first floor. So yeah, here we go. We're still on the first floor, and I think this is actually going to be part of the second floor. So yeah, that's a bit confusing. So it goes from the first to the second floor because it slowly elevates as we travel down the house. So anyways, this is basically the first half of the second floor. We can click on this button over here to turn on the command block lighting. As you can tell, for the entire floor, we have another living room over here, as well as a balcony to overlook the entire first floor. And this is where the staircase connects. And then over here, we have a small pathway that's going to go through the house onto the secondary part of the second floor. And this is pretty much where the ballroom is, so that's you know, how it connects. And then on this side we have another staircase which is going to take us to the third floor. This third floor is going to include another kitchen, which is just really magnificent. We have Stark Industries and all of these chests, as well as it will take us to a really lovely dining room table. Now here we go, back down the staircase, back across to this first half of the second floor to go up to the second staircase, which is going to take us to the third floor. I know it's getting confusing, but this is the second part of the third floor, and this is basically going to include some of the rooms as well as some redstone lighting. As you can see, it will transform all of these blocks into our sea lanterns. A balcony which is located on the third floor right at the top of the house, which is going to go down all of these areas into all of our rooms. And on the inside, we do have a hallway which will also give us that access. So over here we have the first room, and this room is going to be really huge since it is part of a mansion. We have a walk-in closet as well as a walk-in bathroom, which is a pretty huge bathroom, I do have to say. And then down the line, we will encounter these similar rooms. All right, so let's just go ahead and quickly do this since I want to take a look at the Helicarrier. And down over here, we do have a command block door, as you can see, as well as another room right over here. And this one is yet again very huge. I'm not sure if it has redstone lighting, but I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the lighting for the room. And I don't think it's working at the moment. But either way, this room is very large, and it does include this decoration staircase. You can break these blocks if you want to like have access to the roof, but I'm not sure why you would want to. As well as I do have a bathroom in the back with some redstone lighting. So let's just go ahead and click on that. I think this is actually command block lighting. And as you guys can see, it's a full bathroom as well. Alright, so as you can see, this is our Helicarrier, and it is super huge with a gigantic plane on top as well as a miniature one. And this does have a built-out interior. As you guys can see, we have all the different hangars and all the different spots for the crew, as well as other planes and assembly areas and maintenance areas. And it is just really, really crazy that there's so much detail in this thing. So yes, you can go down to every single floor of the building. You can go up to the pilot's, you know, control area, as well as this area at the bottom. And oh my god, I did not actually see this. This is the first time I'm looking at this. Look at that. It's like a huge headquarters at the bottom. Let's break this glass and just check this out. Look at that. That is so freaking insane. Alright, so this is basically the bottom of the Helicarrier. We have the lava on the interior to make this look even more epic, as you guys can see. And of course, the runway at the top, which is a lot of space for people to land. And we do have these massive turbines as well. We have the control tower located right over here, as well as this huge plane which does have an interior, and I assume that one has an interior as well. And a car which is basically coming off of our plane. Now this plane does have an interior like I mentioned, and I won't be exploring it too much, but as you can see, there is a small meeting room at the back, as well as, you know, different areas and chambers in the building, or in the actual Helicarrier. So as you can see, this is really cool, and you could get lost in here, and it's just as big as a Stark Mansion, I do have to say. Alright, so let's go back outside and check out our alien craft, and then we can blow it up using our command block creation. So this is how it looks when you're walking on the Helicarrier. Everything is just really large, and yet again, I'm sorry I'm flying around so much, but we do have to fly around in order to save some time. Alright, so that is the alien craft. Say for instance, they're coming to battle our Helicarrier. Sheila is going to take them out by using our awesome command block creation. Alright, so are you guys ready? We need to do this. Alright, 3, 2, 1, and fire towards our alien ship. Whoa, look at that. Our helicarrier is just spitting out TNT, and it's absolutely destroying the front of this alien craft as they fly by. Of course, the entire thing will be absolutely decimated, and as you can tell, that is a lot of TNT. Look how much. There's millions upon millions of TNT just flying out of the cannons, and there is, I would say, 4 cannons in total, and I should turn this off before my game crashes. So that's basically our TNT cannon made out of command blocks, and nothing could stand a chance against that. I mean, Redstone would not be able to make cannons that powerful. Alright, so as you can see, it left a gigantic hole in the alien craft, and that is definitely going down. Alright guys, so that is pretty much going to wrap up today's video. It was a really large map, and I didn't go over every single thing in detail, but I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope it inspired you to build something of your own. Anyways, I would really appreciate it if you guys took 1 second to smack the like button, as well as leave a comment down below and tell me what you thought of the map. And also don't forget to subscribe to see more exclusive maps on this channel. This was Twist, and I'll see you guys next time.